giving him back.
Yeah.
It's my husband or the dog. Like, I'm not, like,
Wow.
he can leave. I don't care.
Forget the whole DMV picture.
Yeah.
That was off the table.
And I'm so glad we didn't get a dog before that, because Comet, I don't know where he came from. He was so perfect. He's never had accidents in the house or torn anything up. Like, he's just a perfect little dog, minus some weird social anxiety things. But he's just a perfect fit. And
so what's this social anxiety stuff? This is going to be...
I want to...
Every dog has their thing. It's not, it's not
Yeah.
personal. So what is this social
So he's
anxiety
got a couple
stuff?
things. He often cries when we leave the house.
Okay.
Usually doesn't last more than a minute, but neighbors have told me it'll kind of maybe go on and off for an hour, but just every once in a while. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure he's super gay, which is not an issue. That's just a fact. Like, he does not like female dogs. He loves bigger male dogs.
Okay.
Like,
He likes bears.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
always, he
Got
totally
it.
does. My wiener dog likes the wiener. It's cool. I'm supportive. But he is a little weird with other dogs where it's hard to get him to play with other dogs. If we go to a dog park and all the dogs are playing around, he kind of stands out, looks like a little poor kindergartner
Yeah.
that doesn't know how to
Little
interact.
wallflower. That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Every once in a while there might be a dog that in our old building he was kind of aggressive to, and honestly he's so good most of the time that if he does, I don't trust that dog.
Yeah.
I don't think it's him because he's so good with everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly that. Like, the two dogs that we watch, there's a boy and a girl, and he just kind of...
He's like, meh.
He kind of ignores them. He's sort of passive-aggressive against them, but it's not horrible.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
No.
That's about it.
Yeah.
He could be better on a leash, but I think that's our fault. It's
Probably.
definitely our fault.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And it has nothing to do with Chicago either.
No, it really
No,
doesn't.
it doesn't.
In fact, he walks better here because it's sunny.
Yeah. He's like, look, I'm not freezing my ass
He's
off.
happy here. He
Yeah,
likes it.
Exactly. So, all right. So you've got the show that was going for 6 months. This is your 11th month here. You've had Comet for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, so what are your aspirations? Let's get personal now. Let's talk about you.
Okay.
Without no Jennifer Lawrence stuff. We don't need any of that.
Fair enough.
We just want I
don't even know what that means, but
Oh,
okay.
oh,
Well, I know what it means, but I'm not going to take my clothes off in here if that's what you guys are saying.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to. If you had ever done that, we don't want to know about it.
Great.
Okay, so your husband and you are actors and comedians, and so you both came out here to kind of expand on that, right? And then what's going on? How's it going for you? Other than we know.
Yeah, the show's going great. It's hard. I think good. I don't know. Everybody tells me that we're both, way ahead of where they were when they first moved here, and I mean, we're insecure. I'm an insecure comedian, so good, but yet it's never enough.
No comparison either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing I'm trying to do is just be true to myself and enjoy. If nothing else, learn to enjoy just living in California.
Yeah.
Enjoy the weather. Enjoy being out here. I'm auditioning here and there. Probably not as much as I'd like, but again, nobody is. Right. So
nobody's playing their instruments as much as they want. They're not auditioning as much as they want. They're not working as much as they want. They're not making as much. They always want more. So
right. I will say I have not had. I'm also a hair and makeup artist, which is sort of what pays the bills when the writing and comedy and stuff doesn't. And you know what? I haven't had to get a job as a waitress. So
that is very good.
That's not bad.
And it's nice that you have a husband who's like, you both in the same boat. You understand what's going on.
Yeah.
There's no hard feelings about, we're struggling this month again. Duh.
No, yeah. Or tomorrow is our 9-year wedding anniversary and we're both working. Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, we both booked a job.
So you're going to spend the whole month celebrating.
Oh, God. Maybe if we ever see each other. No, tomorrow's our anniversary and yet we're going on the road to do a show. He's auditioning in the morning. I'm taking a haircut clients. It's just the business that we're in.
Yeah,
and
of course.
we find other times to celebrate and have fun. And, it's not freezing here, and it's not going to be freezing here. And that alone
is
makes
enough.
me say I'm doing great.
To do it. Okay, well, here's a little question for you, bringing up Chicago again, and this time it is my fault.
It is your fault, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I take full responsibility. So, because I grew up in the Midwest and stuff, but, in Michigan and near Chicago, but I didn't live in Chicago. The biggest city I lived in was Los Angeles, and, the next biggest city was 100,000 people. So, not more rural, small town. So, the dynamics of how people treat their dogs or what you see when you're on the leash and all that stuff, do you see a difference between Chicago and LA other than the snow and the booties?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Actually, that was one of the reasons I thought the show would do well is people are obsessed with their dogs here. Obsessed with them.
So it makes you feel more at home, doesn't it?
I don't look so bad. I mean, I don't go to the extent of calling, us mom and dad. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm his people. But, because also my dog's awesome. Anyways.
Just in case you didn't know, Comet is awesome.
Everybody knows Comet is awesome.
Yes.
That's the case. But anyways, I think the biggest thing I know, well, the first 4 months I was here, my husband was working for Second City on a gig, and so I kind of came out here by myself at first. And I remember telling him, like, you can take your dog everywhere. I bring my dog into Walgreens. I bring him into, every restaurant has a dog seating area, and I love that part of it. And I think that was another reason that made me go, this show could really work because people don't want to go.
You have an open market right there.
Yeah, people don't want to go without their dog, and I get that, especially. We're so busy out here. I think everyone's hustling and doing our thing, and you have to be away from your dog a lot. So if you can take them with you and have a fun night with you, and the dogs are so exhausted the next day.
Yeah. All that distraction work is like hugely mentally challenging.
Oh, yeah. Comet is a zombie the next day. It's great. It's great. It's really fun. So I think I noticed that, and obviously, my God, I mean, even Comet lost weight when we moved here.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He lost like a pound.
Out of his, that's like 10%.
That's a lot. Yeah. He's
exactly.
already in great condition, but because we go hiking now and you walk around, you see all these dogs hiking, and
you're more inclined to stay outside longer anyway, just for your regular walks.
Yeah.
Right?
We had a garden unit in Chicago, so it was always dark, and we could take him to the park, but not year round. And as a dachshund, he hates water anyway, so if it's raining, he just wouldn't go outside. He can hold it for a very long time and just wouldn't go outside. And out here, the first apartment we lived in had a little balcony. Yeah. And he was, the first week, 2 weeks, he wouldn't go out there. He was kind of scared. And then over time, he started going out. And I remember the first time, and I was an emotional wreck when we moved here, as you often are.
Yeah, of course.
And my husband was away from me during that time. Right. It was the holidays. But I remember coming home, and I used Comet as such a good source of, he was just my buddy. He was every step of the way. If I didn't have him, it would have been really hard. And I came home, and it was for the first time he was on the balcony by himself, and nobody was home. And I literally walked in the door and burst into tears because it made me realize, he's adapting, which means I'm adapting because he's just following my lead. I get that.
Right, exactly. How you respond to the world affects the other. Yeah,
like I'm getting more comfortable, so he is, and that made me really happy. So when we got our own apartment,
he cried and he peed on himself.
He did. No, he doesn't pee on stuff. Remember, he's perfect. No. But when we moved, we were like, we have to have a new place with a balcony, and that's what you can do out here. You can live your life around your dog, and you're not looked at as being crazy.
Yeah. So, okay, so the obsession, I want to go back to the obsession part. How is it different in Chicago specifically than LA? Like, as an example of how people are more obsessed. Just having the dog around all the time?
Yeah, I don't know if I know people. I don't know as many dog owners in Chicago as I did here. I mean, it also depends on the neighborhood, and, certain neighborhoods in Chicago have a lot more than others, I'm sure. But I don't think as many people had dogs because it's a whole. You really want to go walk your dog in the middle of January when it's 0 degrees? Like there's no degrees. It's freezing. You don't want to walk your dog,
right? Exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's a big difference. I mean, maybe not the people I hang out with, but I've seen some crazy dog people out here.
Yeah,
like the woman I saw that was, she was an older woman.
Okay.
In an all pink, like tutu-y kind of fluffy dress, pink hair, pink sunglasses, little cat eye sunglasses.
Okay.
Pushing her pink poodle in a pink baby stroller.
Okay.
That's a little obsessive.
Right.
That's a little weird.
Yeah. Because if it was blue, it'd be better.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I don't like the gender stereotypes.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem I have with it.
That's what it... That, and it just attracts stuff in your house when you bring in those pet strollers, Oh,
man, it was weird. You would never see that in Chicago, but that's more LA's weird.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a good good insight. There you go. That's what we. No, I think too with the Midwest and like Chicago included, it's a big city, but you also have people who like their vision of being a good dog is having, some land where they can run, that kind of thing. Whereas in LA, nobody really has that.
Right.
And so they have their dogs in homes. And so the adjustment, the relationship's a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also there's so many, there's so many pet stores and dog training schools and just dog-centered companies. And if any of you would like to donate to our show, please get a hold of me, 2girls1pupshow.com. Anyways, there's all these dog things.
That's the numerals.
That's right.
2 girls and 1 numeral 1 pupshow.com. It's also going to be on my Facebook page, that dog training show with Tanya Yarbrough.
It's a lot of words there.
Okay, so or you can go to the Tail Waggers Foundation and say, Monique, I heard her on the podcast, and I think she's funny, and she talks about Chicago a lot, so I'm going to give you some more money. So there we go.
Yeah, the Tail Waggers or thetailwaggersfoundation.org.
Yes,
is their official one. Yeah.
So it's for helping with medical expenses for different groups who need help with that.
Yeah, they were telling me too, just within this year, because they just recently, they're still fairly new, not the pet store, but the foundation, that, they've helped over a dozen different dogs and cats with their medical needs, over $9,000 just this year in helping these other nonprofits, because that's such a big expense of nonprofit organizations is just the medical attention that these poor little animals need, that, something small that you can help them with might stop them from being euthanized.
Right. And that's it is a big problem. I mean, those are the ones that are sick or injured in the shelters are the ones who are going to be first on the list, because there's just not the money statewide, in terms of the government paying for the shelters to take care of it. Then the rescue foundations try to pick them up, but then they don't really have the money for it either, so they always have to ask for donations.
Right.
So the Tail Waggers Foundation is kind of an umbrella group that someone can draw sources from to help out with the sick or injured dogs or cat or whatever. So good. So this Sunday, right?
This Sunday.
What is the Sunday? What date is that?
This Sunday, the 7th.
The 7th. Okay,
yes.
Sunday
and this
the 7th.
is the big one, because like I said, for the first time we have door prizes. So you don't even have to buy a raffle prize. You just show up.
And they could throw things at you for free.
They could. Why would they throw stuff at me?
Well, in your hands.
They could throw stuff in my hands.
They're like, here's a look, you're at the door.
We just posted on our Facebook page, which is the number 2 girls, number 1 pup show. And on our blog too, a picture of Comet modeling the bandanas. I'll be putting a bunch more up tonight and tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
They're actually really cool. So I wasn't sure what they were going to look like, but
you're like, it's even better than I thought.
Well, I went to a dog park to get with my photographer to take pictures with Comet, and we took out a couple bandanas. And next thing you know, I was swarmed by 10 dogs.
Oh, yeah?
So I put all the bandanas around them, and it was a very happy day yesterday.
Oh, you were like you're like styling.
It was great.
It was like the Pied Piper of dog bandanas.
Yep.
There we go. All right, so this Sunday starts at 7. Get there, but you need to get there early. The street parking.
Get there at 7.
You want to make sure you get, because it's right there at UCB and the cross from the Scientology building, I think, are near there. So there's not a lot of street parking, so you
But there is
space.
A parking lot there in the Tail Waggers section.
Yeah, there is. So
they're very sweet
so
to us.
Take over the parking lot and own it. And then own the red carpet. So unless somebody calls me for an emergency, I would love to be there.
Oh, good.
And bring Rambo the spaz monkey.
Oh,
okay.
Yay.
So I will do, unless somebody goes, oh my God, my dog bit somebody. Please come tonight.
Sure.
Okay. And then I have to go. Okay. No socialization for
no
me.
fun for you.
But otherwise, I would love to be there, just to see it rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I invite all of you to do the same thing. And if you're not there, I will not be able to take your name down. But I will find you eventually. I will run into you somewhere in the street. If I'm wearing a pink tutu, you know who I is.
That's right.
Okay, so anyway, thank you, Monique, for being on the show and telling us about all the stuff going down. It's very fun, and I will see you Sunday unless something weird happens. And y'all, you know how I is. This is the way it goes. To love is to serve in the dog world, so give your dog every day a little way to serve you, and in return, serve them well. Talk to y'all next week. Bye.
I just wanna